Driving around Racine and Walworth counties, you may have seen those large green and white USAgain clothing recycling bins located mostly at area gas stations. You know, the ones that look like giant mailboxes. USAgain is a for-profit green company based in Chicago that recycles and resells clothing and other textile goods that people drop in the boxes. USAgain CEO Mattis Wallander said the company's mission is to provide consumers with a convenient and eco-friendly option to unload excess clothing, diverting it from landfills for resale here and abroad. Here's what USAgain accepts in their collection boxes.
Clothes, beddings, curtains, blankets, stuffed animals, and of course shoes and other leather accessories, belt, etc.
Mattis explained where all those unwanted items go after they get put in the boxes.
Our drivers pick the clothes up using our branded USAgain trucks and transport the material back to one of our warehouses. We have 11 warehouses coast to coast. From there, the clothing is baled in half-ton cubes and shipped to markets all over the world.
Mattis said that the material is sorted before it is baled. Unusable material is tossed out. The tubes are then sold to resale shops and markets both here in the U.S. and other countries, mostly in Central America.
It's a little-known fact that 70% of the world's population wear used clothing in most of the world. People just don't have the shopping malls that we have.
The half-ton tubes of clothing, shoes, and textiles are sold for a few pennies per pound. Mattis described it as a few $100s for a 1,000-pound tube. He said it allows entrepreneurs to get started in business relatively cheaply, and it's a great job creator.
It's a low-cost commodity which provides opportunities and employment to hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of people around the world who can invest in a half-ton cube of clothing, take it to the marketplace and sell it piece by piece. And then you have a business. In Guatemala, I've heard estimates that as many as 20% of the population make a living from resale of used clothing.
So now you know how that little kid in Guatemala that you saw on the TV news the other night might have ended up with his Green Bay Packers jersey. Mattis does not see USAgain as a competitor to charities like Goodwill, Purple Heart, and St. Vincent de Paul. He said there is plenty to go around because of the enormous abundance of unwanted clothing in the U.S.
In 2010, 13 million tons of clothing was consumed in the U.S., and only 15% of that was recycled. We are going after the 85% tossed into landfills. We think that we are complementing the large established charities that are collecting the bulk of the 15% by making it a little bit more convenient for consumers who don't care to support a specific charity but just want their clothing to be reused. I think that there is a need for more recycling, and it's not a question of competition.
USAgain has 10,000 collection sites across the country, 600 here in Wisconsin. There are 12 boxes in Walworth County, 4 boxes in Racine, none yet in Kenosha. Mattis said that there are several hundred for-profit companies in the U.S. doing this, but his is the only one with a national presence.